Hey folks, welcome back to Candace Boxing Channel. It's Saturday, June 28th, and I thought I would continue the series leading up to the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship of the World, which, as we know, is Wembley Stadium, July 19th. Olexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois, 2. For those of you who didn't watch the video I did yesterday where I explained what happened to my hair, I ought to possibly reiterate the reason for the somewhat streamlined look. I normally use the clippers just to take it up to the sides, right? Of course, I don't go to the barber. This is all, well, I don't have anywhere nice to go, so it's all doesn't need to be fancy. Well, anyways, I was distracted. I was listening to something, and the next thing I know, I've taken half the thing up here to the number 1 as well. So, in for a penny, in for a pound. It's a style that I wore for off and on 25 years. My domestic team leader hates it, so it will be grown back out. Well, thankfully, at least I can grow some of it, eh? Anyhow, that's why we've got the new streamlined look and somewhat smaller shades, glasses. The normal ones look absolutely ridiculous when the pate is a little thin. Anyhow, we're continuing the series. The last time we did one of these, we looked at 5 ways that Daniel Dubois could possibly beat Olexander Usyk. Well, today we're going to flip the script. And Olexander Usyk is the favorite for a reason, right? He's the bookie's favorite. The money is on Usyk, though, as you know, I am personally getting nervous because I'm Team Usyk all the way, but I'm getting a little bit fretful that some of the ways I outlined Daniel Dubois could win might actually come true. So hopefully, when I go through this, I will reassure myself that Olexander Usyk is going to once again become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So, we'll do it the same order as I did Dubois. And I've got notes, so I'm going to be looking down, because otherwise for God's sake, I'll forget one of them, won't I? And have to start all over again. So, a clean knockout win, which, as you might remember, is the most likely scenario for Dubois to win. Let's look at it from Usyk's point of view. He's not known for KO power at heavyweight, but he's a volume puncher. He's got elite level timing and placement. I think this should not be controversial statements. And Dubois has historically shown signs that he can be broken down. I'm not slagging him off, but we got to go back to the Joe Joyce, right? He can be broken down physically and mentally when things aren't going right. Go back to the first fight with Usyk. He was stopped off really and truly a jab. So he wasn't stopped off a jab. He essentially gave up. I'm not trashing him here, but it's evidence that he can be broken down. Now, that's in the past, and he's had some very good fights since then. He may not be the same fighter, but it's there, right? So if Usyk targets the right areas, uses his obvious movement, sets traps, lands clean combinations, which I think we know he can. He could force a late stoppage, especially if Dubois starts to fade. Dubois is a very big and very muscular man. It's possible that he could fade, and I don't just mean physically fade, I mean mentally fade. Like, to have someone like Usyk in front of you, that has to be not just physically tiring, but mentally taxing as well, right? So, it's not impossible for Olexander Usyk to win by a clean KO, right? Late stoppage. Possible, right? Excuse me. I'm having trouble shaking this cough I've developed, or throat problem I've developed. Made worse by speaking. Not ideal for the YouTube hobby, is it? So, let's move to the second one. A legitimate points victory. This has to be the most likely scenario for Olexander Usyk. This is Usyk's bread and butter, to be perfectly honest. It's not a stretch to say he's one of the best boxers on the planet. And I'm trying to be reasonable here, because you know I'm Team Usyk, right? I'm an Usyk fan. So I'm not trying to, kick the ass out of hyperbole here when I say that he is one of the best boxers on the planet, right? He knows how to win rounds. He knows how to control distance. He knows how to make big punchers. Think Anthony Joshua. Look confused and ineffective. Like, he did it to Anthony Joshua twice, right? And Anthony Joshua's a very big puncher. And Anthony Joshua was not an unskilled boxer. I know people like him or don't like him. Just calling it facts. Usyk made it look... He showed a level difference, right? So, against Dubois, Usyk could easily just box his way to another decision. He could outland Dubois. You could make Dubois miss. You could make Dubois look slow. You could even win wider, right? He's obviously stopped him last time, but he could have a very, very comprehensive win. And as you know, I'm not a big Tyson Fury fan, but Tyson Fury is a very capable person in the ring. And Tyson Fury could not master Usyk. What do you think Fury and Dubois would be like? I'm thinking Fury could master Dubois. I'm not saying Dubois can't knock him out, but I'm saying that Fury could outbox Dubois. But Fury couldn't outbox Usyk. So, I'm thinking that's the most likely scenario. An Usyk points win. My heart is pounding out of its chest because it's Wembley. I worry about judging. I worry about all these things. But if it's a fair game, a straight game, I think it's most likely Usyk could win on points. That's what I'm personally, The third, I think, is it is unlikely, and we don't want to think it to be the case if we're Usyk fans, but you got to talk about it, and that's a TKO from what we will call allowed illegality. Usyk's smart, right? He's a smart veteran. He knows how to use subtle tactics, use angles, framing, and he would probably be aware of how to use borderline moves, right? He's been around boxing for a long, long time. He's not a dirty fighter, but he would be aware of how to maybe shade the rules, right? Lean on a neck, use the head possibly a little bit. The ref could let some stuff happen on the inside. Dubois might fold under that. Dubois might be frustrated. And that's where you could imagine Usyk, using a mixture of allowed illegality to get a TKO, especially, again, Dubois could start to unravel. Number 4. I don't think number 3 is there's much to it, but I'm just covering it off because I did it with Dubois, right? A hotly contested decision win. So my notes here, like I'm trying to imagine how this could go, right? Dubois comes out swinging, big shots, makes it physical, really presses Usyk, because I think that's likely to happen. Usyk rallies late, maybe takes championship rounds. Scorecards come back tight. Some people, especially patriotic crowds, start screaming robbery. Other people say, well, look, you know, ring generalship, clean punching were enough. Usyk savvy and ring IQ. Hotly contested. Nobody's super happy. And I think this is unlikely. I think number 4 is possible, to be honest with you. I think number 4 is quite possible. So at the moment, I'm thinking clean points win or controversial points win. Those are my 2, front runners. Number 5, the flat out robbery. I don't think this is possible. But no, sorry. Bad me. I don't think this is probable. Anything is possible. So finally, yes, the robbery. Hey, goes both ways, right? What's good for the goose, good for the gander. If I'm going to say this about Dubois, I got to say it about my guy, right? Dubois has the fight of his life, right? Picture this. Dubois, he's on fire. Stuns Usyk a few times, comes out sharp. Front foot, max pressure, throws big bombs, and Lady Luck is on his side as well, right? Lands the heavier shots, pushes the pace. Usyk begins to look tired. Usyk becomes old a little bit. But it's still, nip and tuck, right? Most people are saying that, look, Dubois got it. But the scorecards come back. Usyk. Maybe split. Everybody knows, that's not fair. Even people who are Team Usyk are saying, wow, lucky there. Maybe judges favoured a bit of the slicker work, maybe. Maybe they didn't want to see the belts change hands on close rounds. Maybe there's a narrative. Maybe there's a narrative. That might be the dumbest thing you'll hear today. Of course there's a narrative. Anyways, the robbery makes everybody unhappy. Usyk keeps his belt. There's a cloud. That would be my least favourite way for Usyk to win, because it would besmirch possible reputation and things like that. Oh, looks like I should have ironed this t-shirt as well, but anyways, never mind. So there you have it, right? 5 ways Usyk could win. The same 5 as for Dubois, obviously, right? Clean knockout, textbook points win, a stoppage that had some funny business to it, a close, very controversial decision, and then a flat-out robbery. Like, oh my God, Usyk was gifted. For me, I think number 2 that's the clean textbook win. I think that's head and shoulders above the others. I think 4, a close controversial decision would be number 2. Then I think a stoppage, like a clean one, proper one, would be 3. The stoppage toes the line. Ugh, hope not. Can't really see it. And a robbery, I don't know. I suppose, I don't know. I'd like to think not. We will see. So, which of these do you think is the most likely? Which would spark the biggest reaction from the fans? Let me know in the comments section. And if you've liked this, please like. Apparently the likes count. Please share, send to friends, whatever. And if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Big thank you to all who have subscribed and comment. And yeah, keep the comments coming. As you know, it's one of the things I really like to do with my morning coffee is go through the comments and, you know, see where the conversations go and stuff like that. And if you like good boxing conversation, I did a video yesterday with the guys where we talked preliminary views on Canelo Crawford. It's gotten a lot of views. People like it. People found the conversation interesting. And I still am not sure where I would put my money. Anyways, thank you so much for your time. As always, I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.